Historical records tell us that when Galvay first reached nearby La Trinidad, it was a thriving community of about 500 houses with an estimated population of 2,000 people, bounded by tree-covered hills and vegetable farms. But after 10 years of relentless attacks from Spanish forces, and by the time La Trinidad was totally captured and turned into a Spanish cabecera, only 100 houses with about 400 people remained. The population reduced by flights to safer havens, deaths resulting from fierce battles between the natives and the Spanish colonizers, with smallpox, a disease the Spanish brought with them, claiming a considerable size of the population.
In his diary, this is what Galvay had to say when he first saw Benguet. At 4 in the afternoon, we discovered from the height the beautiful valley of Benguet, the lovely sight of which surprised us all, so even the soldiers gave vent to their admiration by joyful shouts. I went down the hill, and at the bottom of the valley we found ourselves before a river of considerable size and of crystalline water.
When Galvay reached this fertile valley, he named it La Trinidad as a tribute to his wife, Doña Trinidad de Galvay. Over the following decades, from a practically decimated community of roughly 400 people, La Trinidad steadily grew into a thriving, mainly agricultural district, and by the end of the Spanish era, it had transformed into a small town of about 3,000 people. Today, La Trinidad Benguet is a busy commercial and agricultural town with a population of roughly 70,000.
A typical Spanish town usually includes a poblacion, or the center of town, which usually includes a plaza, a church, a municipal building, a jail, and a school. But the distinctive character of the valley gave La Trinidad its unique design. Because the land was very fertile, add to that the cool climate, La Trinidad also had a botanical garden that served both as a promenade and as a laboratory for agricultural experimentations. It also featured a sizable military barracks, a parade ground, and an armory. Imagine being a Spanish soldier at that time, usually assigned to the lowlands with its oppressive heat, and suddenly you're transferred to a place that approximates the climate back home in Europe, where familiar vegetables like cabbage and peas and tomatoes and Irish potatoes grow. Infantry commanders were very much impressed by the excellent health enjoyed by the soldiers stationed up in the mountains, so they explored the idea of turning La Trinidad into some kind of a health resort for military personnel. They started out with basic health facilities, and the town slowly evolved into something like a small military sanitarium. They weren't able to build a substantial hospital, but lodging facilities were improved, and a small portion of the municipal hall was turned into something like a simple recovery center for disabled soldiers. And by the time the Philippine Revolution started brewing, primarily in Manila and its neighboring areas, a number of sick soldiers were being sent monthly to La Trinidad to recuperate.
News of this highland oasis spread, and soon government officials, wealthy Filipinos, Spanish businessmen, and other foreigners began trooping to Benguet to get well, unmindful of the dangers and inconveniences of braving the Naguilian Trail to get to La Trinidad.
In Manila, Jose Rizal's seditious literary works were inciting certain sectors to rise up against the colonizers. The Katipunan was fast growing into a formidable force, but due to the intriguing news brought back by those who have visited La Trinidad, a clamor for a major health resort began. And though preoccupied with quashing a looming rebellion, then Governor General Ramon Blanco appointed an investigatory group, the Benguet Commission, to determine the feasibility of a major hill station up in the mountains of the Cordilleras.
The commission submitted a positive report. A major hill station was indeed feasible, but it was the latter part of their report that may have planted the seeds that grew into what we now know as the City of Pines.
A more healthful climate, ample water supply, agricultural promise, fuel availability, recreational potential, and communication linkages with the lowlands. These are the characteristics that the Benguet Commission attributed to a nearby village called Kafagway. And they recommended that if a major hill station was to be built, it had to be built here.